All right, we wrap with Reusse. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays. You can find Reusse Unchained with Judd on Mondays here on Mackey and Judd, and some great playoff baseball going on. You got Nelson Cruz hitting bombs. But when I think of great franchises in Major League Baseball, I think back to that Q&A with Charlie Walters and Jim Pohlad, in which Jim Pohlad, Pat, of all the grades you could give the Minnesota Twins front office, quote, A+ for Derek and Thad this season.
When I missed this. When was this? Recently?
All right, we got it.
Sunday.
Oh man, we got to do
Sunday.
this.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jim's all in on Derek and Thad, huh?
So Judd took a screenshot of the newspaper last weekend here and sent it to us. Mm-hmm. And so and Shooter did a good job. You know, Shooter was I think he was sort of fair in his transitions, but basically leading Jim Pohlad to hang himself in this column. But so Shooter writes, chatting with Jim Pohlad last week, I asked the Twins owner to grade his top 2 baseball operations executives and Rocco Baldelli, so he's included here too, on this season's performances. Pohlad said, quote, I'd grade them all A+. For sure. I mean,
wouldn't you like to work for Jim? You get an A+
it's
for that?
great.
Hell yeah.
It's amazing. And then he had a bunch of quotes about how, we expected to do better, but we didn't, and, shrug.
Well, yes, I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. And then and I think the best quote in here, if I can find it, is he said the Twins need to do a better job of guarding against misfortune in 2022. Need to guard against misfortune.
Injuries, is he talking about, or what?
Yeah, he said, quote, I feel the need, I think Derek and Thad feel the need to enhance the team and maybe guard against misfortune, but there won't be any major changes.
By the way, did you see Falvey's comment on the new hitting coach? We want somebody who's going to help our hitters more with the modern analytic way of hitting.
Yeah, I did see that.
We want to become even more in on now. I think what he was saying is there are plenty of pitching analytics that has helped them, but there are now hitting analytics that are coming along, and we want to get cutting edge on the hitting analytics, just like we are with our pitching analytics, which worked so damn good this year. All those, maybe they have a plate, underground plate that they can put in the batter's box to get these guys to step more forcefully, like they did with their pitchers. Spend several $100,000 for this plate so that pitcher will get the maximum force when he throws ball 4. It's now we're going to do that with the hitters, right?
Is that what's going to fix Miguel?
I think
hey, Miguel, here's the thing. We broke it down.
I think the modern didn't we see example A of modern hitting 2 years ago when they set the all-time?
That's what I was going to say. They literally set the home run record 2 years ago.
Yes, right. They did the all-time, but we're going to I don't know what we're looking for. But I'll tell you, there's nothing in baseball. I mean, the Giants, obviously 107 wins, but that's a one-off. This Tampa Bay thing's unbelievable, isn't it? How can they do this?
Every year.
They bring out a bunch of McClanahan was a real starter, went 5 and was good. But yes, 9-hit shutout yesterday. 9-hit shutout against the Red Sox. They got out hit 9-5, and they were never in trouble in the game. They were never in trouble.
They stole home just for fun in the seventh inning, right?
Yeah. First time since Jackie Robinson in the World Series. Jackie Robinson, the famous one.
Was it really the first time? That's the first time since?
Of a straight steal in the playoffs. Yeah.
Straight steal of home
Love
play
it.
in the World Series. So I don't know about the playoffs, but in the World Series, yes. First since Jackie. Remember Yogi jumping up as high as he ever jumped?
Yep.
There's a famous video of that, Yogi going nuts. And it's a little grainy, but that had to be
48, wasn't it?
Maybe it was 48, but it was the first time since Jackie Robinson. And the guy just flat out did it on his own. I mean, you can't order a steal of home, so obviously everybody always.
So apparently it was Reusse. Apparently he's been begging. They've been giving him the red light. He's been asking all season. He thinks he can do it.
Yeah.
And they kept telling him, I mean, from an analytics standpoint, it rarely makes sense to try. You're probably going to be out right. But I don't know, somewhere along the line, he either got the green light or just said, screw it, I'm going to go. Because that pitcher had a weird, he was a lefty with his back to third base, and he had kind of a weird, like, he would tap his toe a couple times and get into his little rhythm.
Yeah, that was great. By the way, that guy's a rookie. He hit 10 home runs in the postseason last year, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
So he's going to beat out his teammate they're going to finish 1 and 2 in the Rookie of the Year, he and Wander. So how about that kid? How about that?
He's good too.
You know, they're so damn smart. They got the shortstop. They got the shortstop waiting to play. So they trade Adames, who's the Brewers' best player.
Yeah. But
they got another guy ready who's going to be making the minimum, and we can get something for Adames that's going to help us along the line. So,
and then what happens is because the real mastermind from 10, 12 years ago was Andrew Friedman, who was their GM, and he built the first iteration of great Rays teams. Then what happens is a team like the Dodgers says, all right, we'll just make you the highest paid executive. You want to do all those things and have a $200 million budget.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you get to put guys like, Adames just on the bench for the rest of the season while you trade for Trey Turner, right?
Yeah, it is. Right. And now they're going to, Seager is going to be gone, right? Because now Trey Turner is going to be their shortstop. So they're going to, I think he's a free agent or something. I'd take him.
He wouldn't be too bad.
I'd take him from the A+ squad here. Let's.
There's not much room for improvement. I don't know.
What would the grade point if these guys are A+? What would the grade point be for the Rays?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever had a 5 at Harvard? 5.0 at Harvard. It's a bad. And this
That's
Neander is, Chaim Bloom was got some attention, and the Red Sox hired him, and that's great. But this guy's been the brains for quite a while, I guess. Neander is, but he gets about 4 quotes out of him a year. He is one of those quiet guys, but he's supposed to be the genius behind the operation now. But it was nice to see those Rays fans all fired up, showing that support. If there's any fan base that deserves to win a World Series, it's the Rays, isn't it? Damn it.
It's non-existent. That's the best part about them. They don't have fans. There were 27,000 plus there at the Trop last night, and I guarantee you 25 were Red Sox fans.
Yeah, it was funny. Here's the home team winning, and they show the shots of the crowd, and all these gloomy people sitting there upset that the Red Sox have lost.
Did they do Sweet Caroline in the 7th inning?
Yeah. They should do that. This is going to be, though, if they win it, and they can win it, I think. I mean, because there's just some miraculous stuff going on here. But if they win it, that's a nice little run for the city, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah. 2 cups from the Lightning, a Super Bowl championship, and possibly this.
Yeah. Wow.
And every parade is on the water. That's the best part. And they get royally hammered and just go up and down in a boat.
They won't even give these guys a parade. They'll go from Al Lang Stadium to up the street, and then they'll circle around the dome there. Hey, but by the way, you cannot tell us that the home run hit the C ring. You have to explain this, can't you? I mean, you got a different audience watching here. You can't just, that hit the C ring. That means it's a home run. What the bleep is the C ring? You got to explain it, right?
The Trop, man.
What is the C? Are there 3 rings? Are there 3 rings?
It's
I thought there were 2 rings.
Yeah, if it hits A or B, it's in play. It drops down, and then you run around like the Bowery Boys or somebody trying to get it, and then. But if it hits the C, which is the catwalk, the big catwalk, which is what Nelson hit last night.
Yeah.
Then that ball was going out because you could see the left fielder saying.
I think Miguel hit the B ring a couple of years ago. Just a mammoth shot. It hits the damn B ring, drops right down, and ends up being a single or something.
I think Kubel did too, like 10 years ago, and Joe Madden threw a fit, which is hilarious because it's his ballpark.
Yeah. What was he mad at? He thought it was a fly out.
Yeah, he thought it was a fly out or thought something was goofy. But I remember Kubel did that.
They only got
like
5 more years in that paradise, I think. So I think it's 5 more.
Is Montreal the next stop for them, or where are they going to go?
I don't know. That's the stupidest plan. They keep saying they keep half the season in Montreal and half the season, and it's not. There's no way you're going to get sued just like if you just left. So what? Don't
just
be
leave.
So stupid.
Just leave and take the lawsuit.
Yeah.
They won't take any money, no matter how much money they offer them. They won't take it to let them leave. St. Pete won't take the $50 million or whatever, $100 million or whatever they want to give them to get the hell out of there. So,
well, maybe if the Rays can finally win a World Series, then their front office will get an A+ grade as well.
Yes.
By the way, the Red Sox. I don't know if we told you this earlier in the week, Pat, but since 2004, so after the 2004 World Series win by the Red Sox, the Red Sox have won 41 playoff games. The Twins have won 0 playoff games. And it's not like the Mariners where they just aren't going to the playoffs. Like the Twins have been to the playoffs like 6 times since then.
I prefer to say that the teams that train in Fort Myers have won 41 playoff games.
There you go.
And they all get an A+, Pat. That's the important thing. We're giving them all an A+ for effort.
A+.
I think, thankfully, this thing I wrote in spring training about this is now the Twins town because the Red Sox finally suck. I think that must have been a blog because I can't find it. So it's I don't think it's popping up. So that's good. That's good. It disappeared into the background.
Yeah. Hey, who wins? Who wins on Sunday?
The Vikings.
Yeah, you can pick if you want to pick another NFL game.
Detroit. Not only do they stink, they're hurt. And they took Jared Goff. They did, if you're going to have to trade your quarterback, say, no, we don't want Jared Goff. You can't, you don't take him. Give it, you can just have Stafford. We'd rather you have Stafford than make us take Jared Goff.
The Lions are the vaccine against slumps. You need to go get a Lions vaccine shot into your arm because you will now be fine. You won't get them.
I've told you guys that I was looking up something on when they were going to this goofy, I think it was in 67 when they were going to the coastal, they were going
you've told me about that.
Remember that coastal thing? And the Detroit Lions, I think Russ Thomas, who was a drinking buddy of Bill Ford's, that was the GM. And he fought like hell at the meetings because it must have been 67 because he saw that Viking defense, Page and all those guys. And he fought like hell not to let them not to get in the same division as they were in. But he lost the battle, and the Vikings are eternally grateful. In their entire 61 years, they've been in the same division as the Lions, and that certainly comes in handy.
The Lions are so bad, they don't even have rivals.
Yeah, right. Yes.
No,
right?
True.
Like pretty much every team in the NFL has a rival of some kind. I don't think the Lions have a rival.
They've been in with the same 4 teams for 50 years, and still none of them talk about the Lions as the rival.
Yeah, they just those fans just want some other fan base to be able to exchange jabs with, and they don't have that.
And they did have the Packer Lion Thanksgiving thing. The Thanksgiving game used to always be Packers Lions.
Okay.
And then sometimes in 70s, I think somebody said the TV network says we don't want, let somebody else come in and kick the hell out of the Lions once in a while.
Maybe a bigger market. Bring a New York team in.
Yeah, bring somebody else in.
The Packers said no. We got to keep playing Detroit Thanksgiving Day. It's our game.
I think the Packers actually wanted out of it because the Lions, that was like the traditional game where the Lions got fired up and attempted to win.
Yeah.
So, and wasn't that a Thanksgiving game where the Lions got 60 yards against them? I remember the Vikings let us fly on the plane because it was. Let the media fly in a plane because it was Thanksgiving so we could come back with them. And God, the game lasted like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. The Vikings just ran the ball because they couldn't do it. I think the Lions had 60 yards. Hell, we were back in Minneapolis at 5 p.m. because it was just a walkover. And that was one of those days where the they get the automatic sellout, but by the middle of the third quarter, there's 20,000 people left, just the ones that want to boo them are left.
Yeah.
They all go home to dinner. It's
Yeah, you got to be hardcore if you're still there on Thanksgiving in the late stages of the fourth quarter.
yes, that is. But yeah, I think it was Thanksgiving. They had 60. I think they had 60. I remember they had a game and they had 60 yards against the Vikings. So
Yeah,
almost as good as PJ against Colorado.
He crowd surfed though. He crowd surfed his players.
Yes, he did.
The weirdest thing is here's the one thing that I'd like to know about the win at Purdue. Did PJ know how bad a shape his running back was in? Because he was crowd surfing his players, and that kid's still in the hospital in Indiana.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they had no idea what was going on.
No, but I mean that's a scary one, man. He's still in the hospital.
It's got to be. I don't think it's injury. It's got to be.
Oh, it's not. Yeah,
it's got to be internal, doesn't it?
Yes,
I would think. I don't know.
Is his life in danger? What's the status
They
of
keep saying no, he's getting better, but they won't. And I don't. You can't. I mean, you'd love to have information, but in this case, you cannot give the Gophers a hard time if the family won't let them. If the family won't let you announce what's wrong with them, then you can't. You can't with the rules we have now, you can't just announce it.
They must have been concerned though initially that his life was in danger, because it sounds like there was a team of doctors and they rushed him out of the stadium. So it sounds like it was, if not touch and go, it was scary at first.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're still in the hospital, 5 days now after the fact, that's frightening.
Yeah. Coyle, a trainer, and another guy stayed overnight.
Coyle stayed overnight and came back, I think, on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to a few people the last few days about various things. I think if somebody wants a new athletic director, this one would be available.
You think he's a little tired of the politics here or what?
I think the politics got him. He's we all wish the best for young Ben Johnson, but that was not the athletic director's number one choice.
Yeah. That's probably accurate.
Yeah. So
I'm rooting for Ben. Ben's a good dude.
I'm rooting for him too, but they're going to be 2-18 this year if they really play well. I mean, their team is. We're going to run Eric Curry out there for a 7th straight year. Poor old guy wanted to be a coach, and now they make him. Now he'll probably play 32 minutes a game.
Yeah.
But you cannot play in this league with transfers from Columbia and William and Mary and I mean, you got to have players in this league. Is it's usually overrated, but the last couple of years it hasn't been overrated.
Well, maybe the first step for Ben is just, I don't know, like making a phone call or sending a text to the top players in Minnesota that all came out now, and who knows, the Jalen Suggs and all these guys came out and they're like, I don't know, I wanted to play there, but Patino never called me.
I've been known to pile on occasion, but that was brutal. That Suggs got McKinley right. that got everybody who ever left here really desperately wanted to play at Williams Arena, but they just decided to. I don't think the Jones brothers did that, did they? They didn't join them.
They didn't join in.
Tyson Trey jumped in. I don't know. Mike Krzyzewski, I guess, was our fallback. I don't know.
Yeah. That terrifies me that this is Krzyzewski's last season. What referee is not going to go into the arena during the NCAA tournament and do everything they can to get Duke to win? They're going to have the NCAA going to send down orders that they want Duke in the Final Four. If you're the referee that makes a call against Duke with a minute to go that makes Coach K unhappy, you never work again.
I like the conspiracy.
This is going to be the biggest referee fix in the history of American sports.
I just want to know if once Coach K finally retires, is he going to let the hair go gray? Are we going to get rid of the shoe polish? We just go natural.
I don't know. Hey, you guys remember? Have you seen that? There's this thing floating around Netflix, Bad Sports. Bad Sports. Have you seen it?
No.
There's a document. It's about bad decisions, but the first episode is the Arizona State point shaving scandal when Frieder first came there. And Headache Smith, you remember Headache Smith was their star, a guy, I can't remember his first name.
I remember the name now that you mentioned it.
His nickname was Headache Smith. It's pretty damn good. They got Headache and the other fixer. They're interviewing him. And,
why was he nicknamed Headache? He suffered from migraines or
when
what?
you played against him, he gave you a headache.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And when you coached him, he probably also
but he didn't
gave you a
spell it
headache.
right either. It was like AKE as headache.
The point shaving thing, Patrick, is one of the most interesting, also old school thing in sports. Like there were some great point shaving scandals.
The guy who was betting all the money, some guy bet $2.5 million on the first game and $5 million on the second game out in Vegas.
Jeez.
And the guy who was bet, or maybe it was 1.25 and then 2.5, and then he was going to bet 5. But the point spread was really like 11 or 12. But he told Headache, he called Headache before the game, like a couple hours, and said it was 6 because he wanted to protect himself. Headache hit the 6 both games. Both games ended up being a 6-point win for Arizona State.
Wow.
Headache was the point guard, and he managed to. And then the third game, Headache kind of mailed it in, and they won the bet anyway. But they got the hell beat out of them by UCLA or something. So anyway, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bill Frieder, boy, he had a bad run there. He left Michigan, and then they won. He told the Bo he was leaving Michigan. Bo fired him immediately. Michigan won the Final Four with Steve Fisher as the interim head coach. And then he became the head coach. And then he went down to Arizona State and got bounced out of there in about 3-4 years because of the scandal. So
I'll check it out for sure.
Yep. Yeah,
All right.
good.
All right, Pat.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
I'm going down today to Mankato to see 1 play 2 in hockey tonight.
Nice.
There you go.
Mr. Puck, I've
Minnesota
always said
hockey
you
representing
and Gilbert, Pat. You and
MSU
Gilbert.
and Mankato. I mean,
Go Huskies.
MSU and St. Cloud being 1 and 2 in the country. It blows my mind. I
Crazy.
can't believe it.
Love
All
it.
right.
All right, Pat. We'll talk
See you,
later.
friends.
All right.
Enjoy.
That's Rapping with Reusse here on Mackie and Judd and the SKOR North YouTube channel.